welcome to West Coast Live. Tonight we have Gary Fernandes, driver of the world famous Dan Quello Wild Hair. How you doing tonight?
I don't know what world you're in, but
world famous world. It's a good one. So Gary pulled last weekend at Castile Nas and pulled off 2 first place finishes. Did that happen on purpose or?
Well, when nobody else shows up and you're the only guy that pulls. So.
Oh, there was 3 trucks there. Come on.
Oh, there was. Yeah. No, we did all right.
Good deal. Good to see it rolling again.
Well, it's a wild hair track too. It gets a hook and track. So
yeah.
World famous and iconic.
Iconic, yes, definitely iconic. Definitely a lot of history, for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And Gary's iconic in the sport.
Yeah. He used to be behind the sled for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I started with Dad, helping him tech this trucks. My dad.
Yeah.
With had to be in the late 70s, 78 or so is when Dan finished the sled. WFPA. I was pretty young then, but by the mid 80s, I was helping my dad tech.
Yeah. Mike and Susie said, "Yeah, you beat us."
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see Mike back out too.
Yeah, his hands.
Mike had a good pull. It's like, holy smokes.
Yeah, he's got that truck.
Pulling good.
Yeah.
Well, from the videos I saw, it looked like you were trying to take it out to the parking lot.
Boy, no kidding. Through the chute and up the ramp.
Well, at least I didn't hit the walls like Tucker, but hey, whatever. We don't always spit bullets or anything.
Or Tucker, he gets picked on. He didn't even hear. He's a good guy though.
He's a good kidder, so he's
for
good
sure.
for it.
Yep. Gets his rig going pretty soon.
Yeah,
he can come out and play with us, huh? So, tell us about when you first started actually pulling, not just teching, but pulling.
I don't know. I think I probably drove the original wild hair when it was a stock truck, class.
The red one.
No, this is the
yellow,
the wild.
Okay.
There you go, right there.
Oh wow!
I did drive that truck at one pull. I obviously had a license at that time, so I was 16. But I did drive that. I did drive that truck at one pull. My dad's the one that kind of helped put it together. It was I want to say like a Louis something over there in Livingston. That's who Dan bought it from. Huh. Dan bought the Red Rabbit, and then the Red Rabbit motor went into that truck, and then Red Rabbit got a beefed up motor because Red Rabbit was in super stock class at the time.
Right.
So Red Rabbit actually was a hotter truck than what Wild Hair was at the beginning then.
Yes, pretty much. Okay. The yellow one ended up with the stock motor, which heck, we probably still have it. I don't know. But we do have one 440 still sitting there, but I'm not sure exactly which one that one is. But yes, that one, the Red Rabbit got pulled out, and then Harry Holden built a super stock motor for Dan. They put it in the Red Rabbit.
Wow.
So the Red Rabbit originally was stock class.
Yeah.
Then of course, Red Rabbit went up, and then he bought this one, and then my dad and him just kind of got together, and they've been together ever since. I mean, my dad obviously pulled the Jeep for years and years too, and
that would be, let me see.
He's got a picture of that. Is that the Jeep?
No, that's Lawrence Vieira Crazy Ride.
This is it.
There it is, right there.
Yes. So, did you guys have a hard time keeping axles in that thing? Because I know Jeeps always were notorious for breaking axles and drives.
Well, mind you got to kind of, if you go back far enough, you realize that it was actually the 3,000 pound 30 super stock. That Jeep was 3,000-pound super stock class.
Oh,
Because
that's
it had aluminum intake manifold. That kicked it into the super stock class. Now you got to remember, back in the day, that is a V6, so a V6 could hang weight. A V8 couldn't hang no weight.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, a V8 stripped down like that, Dad's V6, he can hang weight. In fact, if you look real closely, you can see that there's weight behind the seat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because every once in a while he would pull 45 and 35 and 45.
Oh, wow. With a V6, huh?
Yeah, and then of course that's when Chet Longacre kind of came involved back in the day too. And then around that time, not too long, they changed it to a 3,500-pound class. Well, then the V8 started hanging weight, and it was harder and harder to Dad beat the V8s because they were actually having a little bit more hook because of the weight.
Right.
Now I see the weights on the front there. Those T looking weights, are those the same weights that later ran on Wild?
No, I still got those weights in my mom's shop.
Really?
That's the same. Those were Case had those on tractors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're T-shaped to them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that's the same weights as Dan has on the Wild Hair.
Yeah.
Also currently.
Yeah. I'll be dang.
Yes, Dad. In fact, I still have that same weight bar. And the Jeep, of course. Of course, the Jeep, but my mom, except my mom's.
See, I always thought and that's actually a good thing, good clarification, because I always thought Wild Hair came for Rabbit.
I want to say, you know what? Luke, that truck came from Louis Cabral, I believe.
Huh.
That would be like Eric Cabral's uncle that had a dairy in Livingston.
Oh, wow.
If I remember right, I said Cabral. Yes, it wasn't Quello. It was maybe a Cabral, and that was, I believe, that was Eric's
Uncle or something. Oh, wow. Huh.
Or some relative of them.
Right.
They had a dairy over in Livingston, and then that's where it came to, because the back tailgate was all smashed down from hay bales hitting it.
Yeah. Old ranch truck. Yeah.
Typical ranch truck. Yeah. And then when Dan decided to make that a modified, that smashed up fender, you can see right there. I remember when my dad was pounding that out and bonding that sucker, trying to get halfway decent looking.
Oh, damn.
Yes, that one right there. But the opposite side, obviously.
Right there.
There you go. That spot right there.
Oh, wow. I'll be damned.
Yeah. Dad spent a whole lot of time in that corner beating that sucker so he can get that light back in there right.
That's when they made him out of steel, So
yeah, that was Dad was never really a painter, but he was always kind of a body and tape man. My dad and my Uncle Jim, they painted that purple Jeep themselves. Wow. They painted 271. One was a 71 1-ton. The other one was a 71 like a fleet side long bed, which was my Uncle Jim's. And then they had actually a Jeep, a trailer they built that hauled 2 Jeeps on it. And then Uncle Jim had a V8 Jeep that used to run in the sand drag. So that's what Dad did prior to pulling, was going to the sand drags.
Mike and Susie are asking, what about the Jeep pickup?
The cab over. Wasn't that I think Ed Larkin's got it now, but that
Harlan Seegers had one. It was Harlan Seegers and Jim Johnson had like a Jeep cab over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little Loco, he called it.
Yeah, Little Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they were asking about that.
I got a lot of old. Well, that's the Jim Massetti has a collage, and my mom has a collage that we made of black and whites of the old pulling.
Yeah, I think we saw a bunch of those up at the MLM banquet years ago.
The banquet, yeah. I gave one my father-in-law Dan. I gave it to him for Christmas, and he said, "Where's my pull truck in it?"
Uh-oh.
And And I said, well, your sled's in every picture that you made. That he wasn't that impressed about it. So then I turned around and gave it to Jim Massetti. My mom still has hers though.
Oh, nice.
It's sitting in the laundry room, hanging on the wall right there as I walk out.
Where's my pull truck?
Where's my pull truck?
I can see that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, then,
and we literally found those pictures in an old bathroom in the back of the old barn where his old office was. That's where we found those pictures, a box of them.
Oh, wow.
And then we surprised him with that photo at Christmas time. And the first thing he said, "Where's my truck?"
There's a pretty cool picture of both of them pulling the Danco sled.
Yeah, there's both of them. Yeah,
Rough Rider there in the background.
Yeah, we still have that. Still, the sled's still there.
Is it? Oh, right on.
Yeah, still there.
Yeah.
Eric Cabral, Eric Roach has said something about it, or
Did he?
So everybody kind of. I don't know. I said I think it needs to just stay here.
Yeah.
It just needs to stay here. Mr. Quello wants to go look at it. He can go over there and look at it.
There you go. Yep.
Well, tell us a little bit of the history of the wild hare. I mean, we started in on it, Red Rabbit first and everything else. And
yeah, well, it started out, Don Hicks was that motor. I believe that motor originally, the first motor came through Don Hicks. Don Hicks, the one that built that motor first. The first, and that might have been the Melodon, the one we still have.
The 572?
Well, it was a 540 at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh.
And then that one, it got it got promoted and a blower put on it.
Oh,
as a 540 that went in the energy release, the Corvette, the 67 Corvette.
Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't find a picture of the Corvette.
Oh man, that thing was cool.
And then I got the pleasure of driving that for a couple of years. My cousin Ronnie was with me with a lot of the pools when I ran the sled, and so Ronnie would run the sled when I would get to drive the Corvette. So I'd got to at least drive the Corvette at the end of every pool.
That thing.
And,
right.
But Dan lost the crank in that blew that motor up in the Corvette, and then that's when he decided to make it a 572.
Wow.
But then I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had to had that girdle rebuilt too.
Oh wow.
So we still have the 572 and the old 636, of course, and then this one. So Arnold needs to buy the 636. So that way that motor can go back to the old Rabbit.
Exactly. Yeah.
That way motor will go back right back there.
Yep.
With what's that? No, I can't remember the heads on that motor, but actually the heads on that one, that Melodon, those are water jacketed heads.
Oh wow.
But,
that's incredible. I think that's so right behind in the back there. That's Oregon Stump Puller, I think. See it back there?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, that's Oregon Stump Puller. Huh. Where is Gish? I thought he was going to be on that.
He's got a softball game tonight.
Oh, bummer.
His daughter's softball game.
Bummer.
But, it's, like you said, that would be the perfect match for Arnold to put it back.
Yeah. Come on.
And I know if he ever did, this is exactly what he wants to do, because he wants to put zoomies back on. He wants it to look like it did back in this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top that's on has that 636 has the blower hat on, or the blower hat deal on it right now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's
fresh, right? It's fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, as fresh as you can get it, because we ran the Melodon a little bit when we blew up the 636 originally, and we blew that. Well, of course, I guess I was driving, so technically I blew it up, I guess. But in instructions of Dan Quello for me to drive the truck.
All right.
that means anything.
And then
Yeah,
afterwards,
I
you
still,
didn't
I
say
still feel bad, but
that. Yeah.
ironically, we were on our way to Eureka to a pool, and Dan says, "Hey, well, we should build another motor." Well, in Willits, we went to Eureka, pulled in Eureka. The next day or two, there was a pool back in Willits, and blew the motor up right there.
Ah.
Well, ever since then, we haven't talked about building another motor because I think that's an omen.
Oh,
Why?
Yeah, no, I mean, really, it's
Ah.
so ever since then. So then, nope, we haven't
never talked about it.
nope. No, we don't need. At one time, he started mentioning it, but I was like, let's make this one work. This one has plenty of.
Yeah.
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 Just got to figure a way to skin a cat differently.
There you go. There
Just
you
a
go.
little different.
So I did find a picture of this when it was, and I couldn't find it today. I know I have it somewhere, but talk a little bit too. What brought this on? Brought Jackrabbit.
Yeah. Yeah. She loaded her up. You can see the crate. You can see the crate in the back of that previous picture right there.
Yeah.
That's actually another 440. Dan sold him for nothing. I mean, it was like he threw it in for like $750 or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he sold that. I can't remember what he sold it for, but yeah, I went to Kendall, Wisconsin. I drove it. My dad drove it forever. My buddy Greg drove it. My cousin Ronnie drove it. Donovan Quello, bless his heart, he passed away. He drove it. John D drove that truck. I bent the front bumper a couple of times, hitting different shit. And then we retired it for a long time. Then Greg said something about wanting to drive, and I said, "Hey, Big, you're gonna have to take all those brakes apart in the back because you ain't gonna turn it. We got to unseize some of that crap back there and put some overseas back there, so that way those brakes will give you a chance to do something, to keep her straight down the track." And that was, the chain. It was a chain drive gearbox in there, nothing special. I mean, it was literally, a manufactured transfer case.
Wow.
The reduction box.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
There was a picture that popped up not too long ago of it when it was all primer doing a pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And I'm trying to remember where I found that. I'll have to see if I can't find it. But
If I remember right, now that had a dry block 440 in it, right?
That had a 440, yeah.
Yeah. But dry block. You never ran water in it.
No, it was radiator.
Oh, it did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Radiator, and then Dan, Dan was always trying to sell it and forever. And one guy bought it and he put a fan in it and this and that because it never had an alternator either. So me and Greg and I, we always thought, what would be kind of neat to do is to get that sucker running, get the radiator set up right, so that way you can actually take that sucker in a parade, because it was always a neat truck.
Right on. Yeah,
but
a lot of
I drove that sucker. A lot. I towed it behind the sled, and that's how we got to the pools. At one time, we had the sled, and then we had a trailer behind the sled that carried the Corvette and the Jackrabbit.
Oh wow! So you actually rode on the street, yeah. Huh.
So I'm going. Me and my dad. My dad was in something else, and because the pull trucks came in the pickup. I think the pickup and the long trailer at that time probably.
Yeah.
And then we end up going to Urrington, Nevada, to pull Urrington.
Yeah.
And on the way home through the Truckee scales, I get pulled over. It's just me and Danette. And of course, there, I was tired out because I didn't have enough tires on the trailer. They were only singled out, and there was not enough load weight for them.
Oh wow!
So we end up stacking weights on some guy that's driving by. I just flagged the guy down. Hey, can you haul some weights down the hill for me?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, we don't have. I said, where are you going? I gotta go to Rip On there in the morning.
Yeah.
So we threw the weights on that guy, and I bought him dinner. On the way home, and I said, well, where are you gonna stay the night? Oh, we're gonna stay there somewhere in that Jack Tone truck stop right there. I said, okay, I'll have my dad meet us there. So my dad bring this pickup up, and we load the weight straight in the pickup, and that's how we got home. But
That's awesome.
But yeah, there was, I don't know how many different, but yeah, you get your driver's license from anything, DMV or whatever. You're 19 years old. Dan will stick you in a truck, and here you go. Follow me.
Yeah.
Right up the grapevine we go. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, 19 years old, scared to death.
Yeah.
Afraid we're gonna burn the brakes up all the way down home.
Right.
My dad already.
Remember you telling stories about that, just throwing you in a truck and off you go.
Oh yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
Nice.
All the way. Yeah, I remember going all the way to Del Mar. Oh my God, San Diego.
Oh wow.
Go down there. That was when I owned the sled, though.
Right.
Yeah, so that was a little.
That's a long ways.
Yes.
Down.
And that GMC.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into the sled.
Well, Dan, I was working for my uncle at the time, Liquid Feed Supplements, and Dan says, "Hey, how about you buy the sled? I'll finance it, and you run the sled, and then we go to the pools. We got a place to put them, and blah blah." So it's just, okay, so we bought it from Lauren Prayer. I don't think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Very nice man. He came down, and our first pull was at the Arco Arena, 3-day pull. That's the most money I made in that sled all one weekend, because it was that was the SRO.
Yeah.
That was the SRO pull. Yeah. And then of course I kept on every year maintaining it the best I can, and without changing everything out. And then it all came down where Dan was get to the point to where he was wanting to quit on the promoting side and putting that part of it on. And I was like, if he gets out, I'm out.
Right.
So then that's when it all kind of switched over to MLM.
Yeah.
So I was happy. I paid him off, and I got a shop out of the deal and built a shop here in my backyard. And so,
nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
There was about I would say about 5 good days out of a 5-year project or 6-year project. It was the last pull, the last day, the last one I had to think about until a month, 3 months later.
Yeah.
And September was like the last pull, or August, September, November, whatever.
Right.
That was the best day that I didn't have to worry about that sled for.
Oh, it became an omen to you. You were like,
oh yeah, and then January would come around. I'm thinking, oh man.
Oh, not again.
So I'd get it out and start cleaning it up and changing solenoids and trying to improve it a little bit by little bit. And
right.
had an old Cadillac radiator in it, and I ended up putting a short block in it because it had a little Chevy Citation motor in it. And the stupid thing had it was chopped down. The intake was all chopped down, so the carburetor was all kind of funky. And so it's not like you could just go in there and buy a new up-to-date stuff. You had to use the old stuff,
Yeah.
And basically, you had a front-wheel drive transmission sitting in there and welded up, and that went into a chain drive gearbox, which went into a 4-wheel drive transfer case, which ended up back into the rear end.
Oh wow!
To drive the box.
Dang.
Yeah, so it was, and then the poor little guy didn't have a whole lot of horsepower, so when we get soft tracks, it got hot, temperature wise.
Yeah.
So I had 2 fans blowing, sucking, and one pushing, and it's just to trying to get that enough cooling capacity.
Huh.
Wow.
Who set up the old sled?
Dan built the original one, and I'd say 77. He built the original sled because my dad went to a pool, Big Brothers pool, the very first 4-wheel drive pool in Turlock, which is a Big Brothers pool in Turlock Fairgrounds, and they had the old horse sled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
At that time, right there, that was 76. At that time. My dad, my uncle was presented to want somebody to build a sled.
Wow.
And my dad and my uncle, they're in dairy construction. They ain't messing with no sled.
Right.
We're making a living here. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
don't have time to do that. And Dan's the one that built it. At the time, I didn't know Dan. My dad did business with Dan because our 71 one-ton had a flatbed on it, and Dan built that flatbed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dan built that flatbed in 1971 for my dad.
Well,
That we had a Travelese camper on it, and he'd take that off and put his utility boxes on the side, and that was his work truck.
So that's what he started fabricating and building.
Yeah, and well, technically in '63 is when he technically started. '64 is when he started Dan Quello welding.
Wow.
So this year in November, we're doing a 60-year party.
Oh, that's awesome.
Party.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
yeah. Try to keep it going another 60 years. I don't know. The way things are going right now with the almond industry and the dairy industry, it don't look like great.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll get turned around.
Oh, whatever, Troy.
Good one, Troy.
Come on. Amy,
I just want Chris to repeat that one.
No, not going to happen. Nope. You guys, whatever. That's what's fun about this, though. You know, we can tease each other and whatnot, and
yeah,
Ford, Chevy, Dodge, it doesn't matter.
No,
it's just having fun.
Well, let's talk about the new, or I shouldn't say new. It's been around for quite a long time, but the updated wild hair and how that came about.
No. I don't know. That's about what we talked about right there. Right around 2011 is when we built that motor.
Yeah.
2011, 2012.
I heard a story. He got that body from some guy that I guess the body was.
No, that body came from Dodge.
Yeah. Right. But there was some kind of defect with it or something. He was telling me that's why.
Something about a seatbelt defect in the back of the cab area.
Yeah.
And the running gear and suspension and everything else went to a college.
Oh,
so
wow.
Dan had to take the body off, and then the rest of the this is a brand new pickup.
Right.
And it's never been on the road. And the rest of it went to some college.
Oh, wow.
For them to play with.
Yeah. I wish you had pictures of it, how it tilts, because it's pretty cool. The cab, just the cab and the front end all come up at once. It like tilts back against the bed, kind of, right?
Yeah.
It's on a swing deal. That's how you.
It's all right, but it's still not that convenient to work on. No, it's all right if you have a bridge crane above you, like I do. Fortunate because I just run the bridge crane over above it and pick it up and put some stands on it, and that way I can adjust the valves without fighting the hood or anything like that.
Right. It's kind of cool.
It is convenient, that part of it, other than
because what year did they build? Did you guys build that one?
Well, it's in 94.
94.
93, 94.
Yeah.
And that was all the same frame that was built back then is the same frame that's under it right now.
Yeah.
And then about I don't know, in the 2000, I started in 07. I would say about 11 or 10 or 11 or something like that. I think I took the whole body off and repainted the whole frame.
Oh, nice.
It needs to be done again.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's never ending on these things, on John.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be done again. But I've been working on, updating, putting some hubs on it and stuff like that, and aluminum hubs and stuff. I got the front brakes, but of course I got probably the oldest antique axles, the 10 spline axles up front.
Oh, really? Still? Oh, wow.
Yeah, the 10 spines are still up front.
Oh, wow.
And heck, the ring gear, the front ring gear has a chip in like 3 or 4 teeth.
Oh, geez.
So I broke an axle and the piece fell underneath there and started tumbling around, chipping the teeth. And
oh no!
And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna clean these teeth right back up, put it right back in.
Well, they'll last 300 feet, you know? Come on.
Yeah, guys, and I just figured, shit. Well, what all it could do is just break again,
Yeah.
and it's the same teeth that's in it right now.
Wow.
I mean, it's because it has a short axle. It's an offset, so it has a short axle, and that's what happens. You just gotta every once in a while pull that axle out and see how many turns it's turning, and
Oh,
you know,
it's
I
breaking.
got another axle. I got another ring and pinion for it, so or ring gear at least.
Yeah.
But I was in the process of putting hubs on because I want to get rid of the driveline brake,
Uh-huh.
and of course the 32 spline is a little bit big, smaller diameter where it the bearings slide over.
Uh-huh.
The 10 splines are a little thick, a little bit bigger, not by much.
Yeah.
The where the seal rides, that's a little bit bigger on the 10 spline also.
Uh-huh.
So basically, what Randy at Performance Pros, they've been kind of working on a little bit with me. I can change the stub axles up on just the stub axles out.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know. I got Chris Mello's pretty handy too. I got another guy that we can do some tweaking too. I just need to look for some bearings, different size bearings, really.
I can show you how to do it with your current setup on Saturday.
Well, I already have disc brakes in there. All I got to throw them on is the ones that Dan had. Dan already has the setup in there.
Oh, wow.
That I took out years ago.
Huh.
But they were freaking Honda freaking brakes that were, yeah, they weren't. They were decorations.
Yeah.
They were like Christmas tree balls.
Yeah, me and John both had to go through that, put disc brakes on the front because that's what they require back there. So
sure.
Yeah.
And of course, that's obviously a bucket list of mine because that truck's been in Bowling Green already, and it would be a bucket list for me to have that truck back in Bowling Green one day.
Really, that would be awesome.
Because I got a sticker right on the windshield from Bowling Green, Ohio.
Yeah.
So it's already been there once. I like to take it back there myself, even though get my ass kicked and just but
about the experience though,
Yeah. Eric Cabral's ready to go. He wants to go too. So
he's got to
put
have
him
his
in my hauler and do it, Gary.
He needs a motor first. He's got to get a motor done. Larry's working on his motor.
Yeah, well, I gotta get better.
Get better. Well,
don't we all? I'm working on.
Don't we all? You think you might get some duck feathers this year?
Everybody's getting duck feathers this year.
Oh yeah, everybody's getting duck feathers.
Oh, yeah. I'm not afraid of no ducks.
Not picking on ducks.
No.
Oh.
No, fire engine ducks. I ain't worried about none of them.
No. Well, we sure like pulling with you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, we'll go to Las Banas and see what we can do there. I got a new data logger, the Corsa data logger.
Oh, nice.
I
can tell you what you're doing wrong, huh?
Yeah, pretty much everything.
Right. I mean, you can do it right too. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, but the Brad Ingram. I called around. I talked to RPM. I talked to some different people. And obviously, you're looking at different price ranges and stuff like that. And I called Randy, of course, with Performance Pros, and he has a he has that one race pack deal, and Randy says, "Hey, Gary, this is the guy you need to call. Call Brad Ingram.
Yeah.
Call Brad and talk to him about it because, I'm not getting a whole lot of support with race pack. So, and I'm a dealer, and I know what's going on.
Right.
Said, you need to probably talk to Brad and see what you can find over there.
There you go.
That makes you happy. I mean, and like I said, it's not the cheapest game in town, but it is pretty nice talking to somebody that actually can relate to exactly what class we're in.
Yeah.
He's not a smoker. Yes, he is a smoker, but he is a 4-wheel drive. He knows exactly what my language is talking about, and he's talking the same thing. I don't have nothing against the people with RPM. They were very nice to me. but I'm talking to them, and I'm telling them about my 19 tech, because Dan bought that centric data logger in, believe it or not, 1994.
Wow.
Is that what the wheel was hooked up to?
Huh?
Is that what the wheel was for?
The wheel was, yes. That data logger was built and set up, and I have the original receipt in a folder in there.
I'll be damned.
$4,400 in 1994.
Oh, wow.
So, and then it had the wheel, and that's gave you the distance and what have you, blah blah blah, and that's that's what we used. And I had all the EGTs and all that stuff. We had all that stuff all these years, all the different all the different motors that we put in.
Right. Yeah.
So and then of course the guy that designed this thing, we talked to him about 5 or 6 years ago, and one of the sensors, I needed another sensor, and Dan called him, and the guy was like in Florida at the time. He said, "This is the last one I have."
Oh, wow.
You're not going to get another one. And then shit. And so
advising somebody else, right?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome though. I mean, really, I stopped using it probably in 21, 22, COVID, and then I was kind of limited myself, and then right at the end of like 22, I would say somewhere in there, I lost another sensor, and the machine won't even work anymore because that was the trigger sensor.
Right.
It was a driveline. I still had the RPM would work, but the driveline sensor is the one that was a trigger. Once the driveline started to move, then it would trigger the computer.
Oh, wow.
But so now of course, now we got this one done a little bit different, which is kind of cool. And
nice.
You can look at it and you can see the clutch slippage and all the drive line, and I can see the distance. I can have a distance, speed on the speed, how fast I'm going. Of course, all the EGTs, my oil pressure, fuel pressure, all that good stuff. But so
good deal.
It is on a little darn tablet, and I noticed it kind of was getting a little cranky, and I was like, man, if this thing gets cranky in a little bit of heat that we were this last weekend, this is going to be ridiculous.
Oh, summertime.
The summertime, because it's sitting on that windshield and the reflection.
AC in there or something.
But I talked to Brad Ingram's guy, and he said, yeah, I think you need. It's not that, because we've had them back here. At 110, it starts to getting tweaking out, because, you're a little Android and little guy pops up and the door open hot. That's basically what was happening. Heck, it was only 70, barely even 80.
Right.
And it has an aluminum case that goes around it. And he told me to sand it, and he thinks there's just a little bit too much pressure on it, and it was acting like it was hot.
Oh, I see.
So I sanded it around, played with it a little bit throughout the evenings and stuff, and hopefully that kind of loosens it up a little bit so it's not so tight. And I didn't tighten the screws as tight.
Might have to set an ice pack behind it in the summer.
Oh, I already had it in the freezer.
Did you?
Put the freezer in the motor oil. It started. I took the 2 bolts off and put it in the freezer. I'm going to make this sucker work one way or another.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't spend all this time and effort doing all this stuff and not having that sucker. So
right.
Yeah.
Right on, man. That's awesome. What a story.
What's the so let's go back here. Let me find that other picture. I remember hearing stories, but what's the story of this paint job versus
the blue that's on it now?
Paint job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember him telling that story.
I remember hearing stories on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was involved in that one. But I can't remember exactly what the heck happened to that truck. I think what happened is
Didn't the front end lock up or something like that, or something broke in the front end?
I want to say the L hitch. Oh,
that was it. Yeah, the L hitch broke loose, and
it broke loose and tore that whole tailgate out.
Yeah.
the back of it.
Yeah.
So that's a new tailgate. And then we did that instead of trying to match the paint and all that stuff. I mentioned to Dan, I said, how about we just paint like a blue, like a broken line here? And Louis Freitas, he did that for us. And then I had some other guy, this Mark, Kleingartner, he's the one that painted the back of it.
Nice.
So,
Well, that's
I
cool.
really wish he would have painted it a little bit darker in the back. I wasn't expecting him to fade at that until I'm not really a light blue person.
Yeah.
I don't mind the darker blues, but the lighter blue, I kind of,
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yep. It looks good.
So if I ever redo it again, I got a lot of, like I said, I already told you, I got a lot of old black and whites of the old pull trucks.
Yeah.
And I would like to do some type of kind of like ghost flames or pictures of very, very subtly.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Something you could see up close, but from the grandstands, you're never going to know what it is.
Right.
Something that up close you could see a lot of the old pullers that I started pulling with, and Dan.
Yeah.
Kind of like the collage I made that Dan didn't like. Well, damn sure make sure we put a pull truck like every corner of the darn thing.
Yeah.
And I do have my daughter built. That's why we have those shirts, because my daughter changed all that lettering and all that stuff, the wild hair and the torch and all that stuff, over to a vector file. So now we have it all in a vector file. So now we can blow it up as big as the side of the shop or as small as a dime. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's all relative.
It doesn't distort.
Right. It doesn't distort. And in fact, if you look at our shirts, you can see that we actually changed the one from a Chevy to a Ford and a Ford to a Chevy. And we changed the headlights. We actually made the lights a different color.
Oh, wow.
And it might kind of look like Reeves' truck, believe it or not. And it's supposed to look like Al Enos's and somebody else's truck back in the day. But not a lot of people noticed that from our shirt to that body.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
So where the rabbits holding the trucks,
we
changed those.
Oh, nice.
On our shirts.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's a compliment when you have a picture of your competitor's truck on your truck.
Right. Yeah.
To me, it's a compliment to Reeves and the competitors that we
had.
Yeah, for sure. Had in the past.
Yeah.
So I need to come up with a sticker that's got a duck on it for some.
I can't wait to see a duck on that truck. That'd be pretty cool. Or a rabbit on mine, huh?
We paint them on the tires.
Yeah, on the tread. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, you'll be in the rear taillight so you can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's my plan.
That's your plan.
No ill will intended. That's for sure.
That's always our plan, Gary. Come on.
No.
Always the plan. But it sure is fun doing it. That's for sure.
And it's all about the people and the friends that you have. And right now I got my buddy Greg. It's been hanging around, helping me for a lot of years, and another good friend of mine, Mike Lawrence, that's helping, kind of one of our new guys that are helping me there, and even I'm getting old Chris Mello to come around and hang around and play with us every once in a while. They were all three of those guys were down there and their wives at the Castle Noss, and we had a good time and took the motor home. And
good.
So
good deal.
But yeah, that was kind of a fun deal.
Greg's always fun at the pools.
Yeah, Greg's a good guy. He's awesome.
Yeah. Heart of gold.
Heart of gold. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I tried to get him on here with us tonight, but he said he wasn't getting off till 6:30. So.
Oh dang.
Yeah, he works.
He
puts in some hours.
Yeah. Well, he has to, so you guys go play.
Well, yeah. We got to go to Sand Mountain the week before, and we know we're here. We're gonna go to Las Banas. The guys are gonna go to Las Banas, and the girls are gonna go to Corbin and Cash over here at some concert.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah.
Good deal.
So
you guys gonna make chowchilla?
No.
No. Oh,
I'm going up I'm going to go up the mountains and rake needles.
oh, Greg just got home. He said,
Yeah, jump on, Greg. I sent you the link.
"Yeah, yeah, you can jump on, man."
I'm sure Greg's got some good stories.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Greg, like I said, he drove that Jackrabbit a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you guys used to raffle off rides in that.
Yes, Urington.
Yeah,
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what family that is in Urington, but almost every year the same family bought it.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the dad drove, the mother drove, the son drove, the grandson drove.
wow.
Everybody rode in that Jackrabbit. And I mean, this is not no chump change. I mean, it would go up like $500.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That auctioneer there, and it was the same family that bought it almost every year. The 5 or 6 years that we took it up there,
Is that right?
I think it was the same family that bought it.
I'll be dang. Probably
That
gonna
is something neat, and it's something that each one of them is probably remembered forever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, right now we don't have anything like that. There's no, like, it kind of broke up the show, I think, because once
Yeah.
you watch 150 trucks go, you kind of want something different,
Yeah.
And so you bring a Jackrabbit out, raffle off a ride, and that really gets everybody going. But
Yeah, in fact, I think for a while they're raffling like one in the beginning and one at the end in Urington.
yeah,
Do a night. They
Yeah.
raise some money doing that, but
yeah.
there's not everybody's gonna take on the liability that that.
Right.
Back then, it was kind of a little bit different,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, reality.
Yeah, and now they have time limits. You guys are supposed to get done within a certain amount of
Yeah.
time. And if you have 70 hooks, it's going to take a while. So, but
Well, we definitely have a lot of hooks.
oh
If you want to go to a pool,
yeah, you can pick wherever you want to go. I mean, there's a lot.
yeah, it's.
Did you guys ever pull big iron from Minnesota? Oh, the sled, the big iron sled.
With
Dan might have did back then when he was, but that Dan pulled. Remember when he did it, the back east pulling, Dan. It was all during the winter series,
right?
And he didn't hardly went. He only went back there a few times during the summer series.
Yeah. Yep.
He was all winter because he would come here. We'd be pulling here during the summertime,
right?
Putting on shows,
promoting. Yeah.
Yeah, promote.
Putting on shows, and you had, back in the day with Anaheim and Oakland, you had all the Coliseum pools.
United States Hot Rod Association stuff too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good deal for a lot of pullers back then.
Oh, pulled with the big iron truck is what he's saying. The 427, the big iron. It was a big Ford truck that had a big rake on it. It was like a 70, 76, 73, 4, 5, 6, something like that. The big iron was the name of the truck. It's probably in pulling magazines all over the place.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures of it.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's the same era, so I wouldn't see why it wouldn't have.
They checked our kill switch this over here at Castle Nose.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked.
Good.
Worked. Poor old identity thief. They pulled his kill switch, and then all of a sudden, the darn thing wouldn't fire for Friday night.
Oh no!
And then I don't know what they did. I think it can't be the kill switch. I just had it running. Blah blah. Well, they killed it. When they had it running, and that's what I told Bob. I said, "Hey Bob, I'll have him check my kill switch, but I'm gonna check it when I'm warming up. I don't want to fire it up here on the scale 5 hours ahead of time,
right?
Because my oil gets milky quick too. I'm trying to get at least 3 passes out of that milky oil. As expensive as it is.
Yeah, oil.
If I trim the fuel and kind of lean it out quick as it warms up, then the oil don't get so milky.
Right.
So I says, I'll do it then. And when we did it, and so
is Richie still running a mag on that?
Who?
Richie with identity theft.
Oh, I don't know. I know they were fussing with the kill switch at the end, and they finally got it started. So he ran both nights. That was on Friday night.
Cool.
But yeah, that
He
was
talking about pulling the mag off, but I don't know if he ever did. But cool. So if you, Gary, if you could drive anybody's pool rig, any class, whose would it be and where?
Oh, God. I don't know. I think the jacked up diesel truck would be pretty freaking exciting.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, jacked up. I think that would be pretty. One of the big truck diesels. The big motor.
There's Anonymous, yeah.
Yeah,
Jack, that was Killmeyer's at one time.
Can't remember.
Called Jack, or is it called something else?
It's called Extinguisher now.
Yeah,
Extinguisher now. Yeah,
or Executioner, isn't it?
Executioner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I think that would be pretty awesome right there.
Oh boy.
And that would fall right into my dad loved trucks.
Yeah.
My dad was a truck driver a lot of years. He loved hitting his jig brake.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it'd be cool to have that class out west. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to see some when we go back to TPC. They're gonna have them there. So it's gonna be pretty awesome to see those guys in person, Just like you when you go to Bowling Green, you'll see them there too. So
oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Bowling Green is a very unique pool.
Oh yeah. It's the super pool of them all, that one. It's a good one.
One of these days, go back there and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch heck. Banner, man. We ain't watching. Come on.
Yeah, only 50 trucks.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. It's a cake. More the merrier.
I think it was 49 that time when Reeves was there, and we were there, and Dylan and Alan, and we had a great time with Alan Babel and their group, and Mike Peterson and all the group we had. We had a great time the whole trip.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Definitely a good time out there.
We went in there. That's Alan's birthday and that weekend, and he says, some strange guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, I heard you're looking for some moonshine." Alan says, "Yeah, we're looking for some moonshine, and he says, "Yeah," and he says, "Well, how much you need?" And Alan says, "Oh, we don't need a whole lot, maybe, like a gallon or something like that," or he said, and he says, "Oh, no problem. Hell, I bring 10." 10 gallons he'd bring us 2 gallons, 1 gallon of apple pie and 1 gallon of cherry or strawberry or berry or something like that. No, I mean, my gosh, we had a great time.
John ran into the same thing when he went TBC with Swiss Power.
Yeah,
there was a guy there selling moonshine.
Yeah,
it was the tech.
Yeah, it was the tech guy. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I watched your guys' deal the other day on the TTC one, and what was the big guy was a official there at Bowling Green.
Larry Richwine.
Larry. I met Larry. Talked to Larry because he kept Alan's tractor at the time, So no, it seemed like a lot of good people there. Yeah. I know there's some moonshine you don't want to drink.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a sip of a couple of them, and I'm like, holy smokes! Yeah, you can run that tractor on that stuff.
Yeah. Put air in your chest.
Burn it off. You might put it there, but it's going to burn. That's how strong that stuff is.
Wow. Well,
in fact, the bootlegger tractor.
Yeah.
We were with him, and he had a glass jar of that stuff. We took a sip with him. Holy. Yeah. But then there's another guy that we went over there and hung around. Very nice guys. And he has, maybe the Get Her Done tractor. The John Deere Get Her Done. Very nice guys. We sat there and drank, I don't know, a couple of quarts of moonshine with him.
Oh wow.
All the way around a circle. And he, hey, you want a shirt? Here, gave me a shirt and a t-shirt, one of his t-shirts, and awesome. a lot of neat people up there for sure.
Yeah. Well, just in pulling community in general. I mean, just a lot of cool people.
Me and Dan went to that pool before.
Kevin Schumacher. Yep.
We went to that pool, and I told Dan, I said, "Hey, Dan," I says, "I think I heard that you can't buy beer there." Dan says, "Oh, you can buy beer there. They drinking beer all over the place there." Dan's not a beer drinker.
No,
obviously. So we sat, we go there, and I'm telling you, we sat there in the bleachers, and I'm telling you, Larry the cable guy and his dad is sitting right in front of us.
Oh wow!
Big old ice chest.
Yeah,
it wasn't Larry the cable guy, but he had the shirt, cut off shirt, the hat, the hood. He was dialed. And I bummed beers off of him the whole night. The whole day. Bummed beers off of him. Yeah. The next day I bring by beer, and I made sure I fed those guys beer back.
Yeah.
Every chance I got.
Nice.
And so, no, but then, of course, every year we were going back there. I went that like 2 years in a row, and then 2 years later. And every year I'd go back and talk to them a little bit, because it was just
that's awesome.
It's very, very cool. Yeah, I've been here since I was 9 years old. And then me and my daddy here,
Wow.
Seeing my first set of boobies right over there in that corner. I like shit, you. It just freaking made me laugh like heck. I mean, awesome. I'm telling you, I mean, he just had this accent, and I seen my first set of boobies right over there in that corner.
That's hilarious. That's
awesome. My gosh! But that's crazy. Crazy.
That's awesome.
But that was then. Yeah, we learned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool, Gary. Very cool. Right on, man. Anybody else got questions for Gary? He's what's anything else, John?
Kevin? No, just oh shoot, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, great.
Dylan said that's Kevin Schumacher.
Yeah. With the tractor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Frank.
Best show and had outstanding pull trucks. Yep. Danny Quello.
A lot of history.
Yep. A lot of history.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one thing about Dan, if you parked in the wrong spot, he was going to be the first one to chew your ass. I'm not talking about your pull truck. I'm talking about your vehicle that's in the pits.
Yeah.
But he's the first guy to say, "Where are we going to go eat dinner?" There's never any hard feelings with that man.
No.
It's always it's all business as usual, and this is the way it is, and but
I remember he told me that one time in Chowchilla. I'll never forget. He comes to the trailer and he's like, "You need to keep that truck on the other side of the mountain."
Yeah, we did really good that one year. What the heck year was that? We cleared everybody by like 20 feet.
Yeah, 18, man. Yeah,
we were out there. We were out there compared to everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah. You were ahead of me by like, I don't know, 6 or 8 feet or something. 3 feet or something like that.
It was pass of a lifetime, that's for sure.
Remember that pan didn't hook up to that spot. We just had enough momentum to get past that spot.
Got right through there.
On any given Sunday.
There you go. Yep, there you go. You just never know, huh?
Yep. Every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds acorn.
Yeah.
That's like,
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's like the four last pools that we've been to. Not too bad.
No.
Hilmar, we pulled against Bradshaw and that identity thief, and then and then Turlock got beat by Bob by 9 feet. And I fell into China.
Yeah. That's sand, man. It's hard to get going.
I was doing all right until I hit that spot. My Lord, that thing fell into the. Yeah. I thought I lost both sides of the tires. I thought both tires went flat.
Yeah, nothing there.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Yeah, and then Yeah. Then this one. So we'll see.
Well, anybody,
It's not Turlock. It can bite you real quick.
yeah, but anybody that's got down that track in Turlock, it's you, Gary. I mean that rabbit's the one to beat there.
Not really.
Well,
We got to change that.
Yeah, you're getting down there again. It'll be happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
The tinkering is never over.
Nope.
No.
These dark things, and and that's what's tough about this deal. You only get one shot.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to have your ducks in a row.
Yeah, you got to have the right rabbit's foot out.
Oh, is that it? Okay. Oh, awesome. Right on.
You and your duck jokes. I had to come up with a rabbit.
I know it. I knew you'd come back. That's why I said it.
Quack quack. We're gonna get him there's a wall painted of the duck hunt. We're gonna get him that for his backyard.
Whatever.
Well, send me something. I'll cut it up.
Yeah.
I got
it says
my
rabbit season and duck
plasma
season.
cutter. I'll cut it up for you.
Rabbit season, duck season.
But Gary will cut it out instead of the dog holding the ducks like that's gonna be a rabbit holding the ducks.
Oh boy, I can see the banquet already. You guys. Oh, good times. For sure. Right on, man. Thanks a lot, Gary, for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Okay.
You definitely shared with us a lot of history of that.
Yeah.
Things were started, and keep it going. And if you see Danny, give him our best, huh?
Yeah, I seen him out of the house and went in there and went to the eye doctor, and one of Dan's old customers that came by and dropped off a ram. Dan built him a trailer and built him a couple of trailers, end dump trailers, 24-foot end dumps in 1974.
Wow.
Still rebuilding the rams for him.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow.
The last ram we rebuilt the ram in 2018, and I was going down south and I delivered it to him, and that's the ram they actually just put onto that trailer. It started leaking, so they put that ram on. Wow. So now I got the other ram.
That one too. Yeah.
And Dan he has the first and the second 24-foot end dump that Dan built.
Wow.
And he has 4 total right now because he bought one from another customer and then he bought one through an auction or something like that. But
I'll be dang.
Yeah. And he donated the ground at the farm show. So yeah, nice. He's a
good deal.
Very nice man.
Good.
Danny for you.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, like I said, give Dan our best, and we miss him, but the truck's still going. You're keeping her going, so
yeah, got to keep his memory alive on that part.
Exactly.
So
yep. And we all have memories of them too,
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah. Look forward to this Saturday. Get down there and
good luck, guys. Hope it don't rain too hard.
Hey, so they're paying our class, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think we're getting a lot of. There's a lot of pools out there.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of pools.
There's a lot of pools out there.
Yeah.
I almost hate to say it this way, but there's almost too many.
Well, not only that, you got Donnie Fagundes, you got L&L, you got Brian Massetti, you got Valley Tractor Pullers.
Yeah.
You got all those guys all those guys are paying our purse, and it's not much, obviously when Dan used to pay more 20 years ago, but it is what it is. I think we set those prices and they've been paying them, but then you get a lot of these fundraiser deals that are not really doing it.
No.
And I think they need to change that, at least give the option for a guy to donate the money back.
Right.
So that way it's fair for the promoter via being a fundraiser promoter or being any kind of promoter. You're
Yeah.
you're still paying the purse. And I can mark that box and says that, yes, I want to donate my winnings back to the Cancer Society or
There
the
you go.
Children's Hospital
Yeah.
or whatever fundraiser that is. So that way it's still the same way. And then that's why Dan's biggest problem with the Hilmar deal was
Yeah.
because they never paid our purse.
Right.
And it should be pretty much standard,
Yeah.
to do it.
I agree.
But in the same token, we need to kind of think about too is it's very tough when when they're paying 8 places and we only give them 3 trucks.
Right. Yeah.
I think that in my heart of hearts and my father-in-law's heart of hearts is we deserve them 8 trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and there's plenty of trucks out there right now too.
Well, yeah, we know because at Clements there was what 24.
Yeah. 22, I think. So.
And yes, 2 are from back east, Johnson boys, which was awesome to see those guys pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was happy to beat the Sun both nights, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That don't mean I could beat them in Bowling Green, though.
Right.
On a horseshit track, yeah, we could. I got a chance.
Far out of us, boy. And for them never being there too, they just took it to us. I mean,
yeah, they did. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
It was kind of like when we had the Oregon boys come here to Nevada. They never been here, kicked our butts. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
For beginner's luck. But thanks, Gary.
Right on.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, man.
Bye.
Good luck this weekend.
Yep. Thank you.
Hope it don't rain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got Los Banos this weekend. Also, too, they're doing the Cal Poly Royal also this weekend too. They
The makeup date.
moved the date, the makeup date. It's coinciding with the FFA state finals.
Yeah.
Because the poly tractor team puts it together with something that goes on at the college. So they had to put it with something, and the state finals is what it landed on.
Yeah.
So, because like Poly Royals usually during open house for all the students that are coming in to see the school and everything else, and then they're doing it on this weekend the same time as Los Banos because of the FFA state finals is at Cal Poly that weekend. So
it's really hard for these promoters to get everything.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep it from happening, but when you got to do it, line it up with something like that, it's understandable.
Right.
But so we got Los Banos this weekend.
Sundays.
I got the flyer right here. I don't have the flyer for the other one, but I got the Los Banos flyer. May 4th, scales 2 to 5, all classes. Show starts at 7. Los Banos Fairgrounds. Then the following weekend is Coachella.
Sunday is Red Bluff.
Oh yeah, This Sunday's Red Bluff for L&L.
Yeah.
I don't know what the times and stuff were on that. I totally lost that flyer.
There you go, rookie.
Yeah, I know. But you go to L&L's Facebook page, you'll have it on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
Then the following weekend is somebody's commenting, so I know it's coming. Richard. Seems like feast of famine and employing season.
Yep.
And we've talked about that before. Is you know, like Larry Lopes and I were talking about this in the shop here a while back. Is every so many years it happens when you got a northern pole or northern fair and a central fair, northern and southern fair, they'll end up landing on the same weekends.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate, but it happens every so many years.
Yeah.
So you'll end up with some double stack, but there's plenty of vehicles go around to make good shows at both.
There's plenty of trucks.
Yeah.
Tractors.
So there's plenty to go around. I mean, they're all going to have good shows.
Yep.
So you got Chowchilla, MLM's Chowchilla on the Friday the 10th.
That's opening season for him. So
opening pool for Brian. Then the next day is Max Cackle's Dixon Fair.
Right. It's
west of Sacramento.
yeah.
So that's the next 2 weeks, and then while we're gone, I think it is. L&L has King City. I
Yeah.
think usually that weekend. King City for L&L. That one there, you got to really make sure you get there early and everything because the pits are very tight.
Very tight. Yeah.
Good
crowd though. Really
good crowd, good track.
Yeah.
Good track.
Yep.
So the next 3 weeks is pretty stacked up with, we're coming into the season now where it's almost every weekend there's something going on.
Right. Yeah. You got no excuses if you're not pulling because there's plenty to do.
There's plenty of hooks to go to.
Plenty of hooks.
So, there's a lot going on in the next few months.
Oh boy.
And yeah, you definitely don't have to worry about picking where to go. That's for sure. There's enough.
Plenty.
But just a little bit about where we're going in May 17 and 18 with the Pullers Championship. They did the draw tonight, and I figured, Chris, you can read off the draw, the pulling order.
Yep.
For our class. I think I got the right here. Yeah, this is Friday night.
Donnie Reeve, who also Reeve Trucking, thanks to them, is sponsoring the class back there. So Donnie's got the ace. Joe Claypole's second. Terry Hagedorn. John is fourth. Terry Hagedorn with his second truck, kicking up dust, is fifth. Myself is sixth. Baby Huey. Jim Bosch, who's won this class both nights last year. Yeah, so watch out for Jim. He's tough. And Jake Zaring, I think he was second or something there last year too. So Jake's very tough with his truck. Jason Brammer, multi-time national champion, has got his truck back. He's back out and got it ready to go. Another different body and paint, but he's excited to come out too. That's going to be his debut for this year. And then Bobby Morrill out of California with the Bodacious.
Bodacious. That's on Friday night. And then Saturday night, which is the second night.
Yeah, Donnie got the ace again.
Yep.
He should go to Tahoe, I think. Start doing a little gambling or something. Man, I'll tell you. And then John, we got number 2. Joe Claypool's again is up there third, and Terry Hagedorn with kicking up dust. Jason Brammer with corn fed. Bobby Morrill, Bodacious. Myself, Baby Huey, and Terry Hagedorn with his second truck, Gunpowder and Lead. Jake Zaring with Roll 19, and then Jim Bosch with Midnight Raider. And this track, I watched Jim Bosch last year pull. I think he was next to last when he pulled last year and won it. So I mean, it's pretty consistent. So it's going to be exciting.
It's definitely exciting. It's going to be a road trip.
Yeah, I had goosebumps when they were doing this draw. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like way more excited than I ever thought I'd be, But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to pull against. I mean, these guys are best in the business. I mean, it's going to be awesome just to be able to bump shoulders with them, And it's going to be a good time for sure. Definitely once in a lifetime deal for sure. Maybe more. We'll just have to see. But
so Frank Barrett, Frank, do not have a master list. I haven't put one together yet. I'll be working on one here shortly, and I'll get it out to you. But their Facebook page has got them all over right now. MLM, LNL, VTPA. Max Cackle's last one is Dixon, so they'll be done for the season.
Yeah.
But
just looking up on their and put them together, there's plenty though. Looking forward to super high power action. Yep. That's for sure. How long do the pulls last at TPC?
So from when we went in 22, Richard, that's a good 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty long show.
There's a lot of like the diesel tractors. I mean, there's what, 5 classes of that, I think, something like that.
Yeah, and there's if I remember right, there's 10 per class with the exception of the big rigs. I think there's only 5 or 6.
Or 5 or 6. Yeah, but
so you're talking there's 100 hooks.
yeah, and then you got minis. There's two tracks going all the time, but they have it really organized. So it's you're across the scale, you're staged, and you're basically pulling on the track. You don't stage for very long. It's a bang bang and you're done.
Yeah.
So they run you through pretty quick from what I've seen. I haven't been there yet, but John has. He can attest to that.
Yeah, and what they do there is, from when we went, is they pull you into tech from class to class, and you go right from the scale right to staging.
Yeah.
So it moves along pretty quick.
Yeah. Yep.
So
the only thing they didn't say tonight was what order they're gonna do
what classes.
Yeah. And he said next Wednesday though they're gonna do the rest of the draws. So maybe after that he'll do them. I don't know. Or they'll tell us when we get there, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, that's what the pulling order is for
TPC.
So, and the live stream's going to be on there. So, for those that aren't going out there or they're going to be at home and stuff like that, the live stream's going to be available.
Yes.
So you can watch it at home.
Yep.
So, but yeah, this weekend, Los Banos, and Cal Poly. Next weekend, Chowchilla and Dixon. And then while we're gone, the 18th is
King City. Yeah.
Saturday, 18th.
Also, with that live stream, all the proceeds go back to us, the pullers.
Yeah.
So, you guys, you're helping us all out by buying the live stream.
Yeah.
And it's not that much. I don't remember what it was, $20 or something like that. It's not nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for this weekend and next weekend, get out to some of these local pulls and butts in the seats to come watch and
root for your favorite rig.
Nervous as hell tomorrow or on Saturday. They're calling for rain, but I'm hoping it goes right around.
Yeah. Well, if everything checks out good, you'll be ready to roll.
Yep. And Chris is coming down for Chowchilla, and as long as it don't snow on him.
No, it looked pretty clear then, so let's keep it clear. We don't need snow up there.
So, all right. Well, next show in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a little bit of a different style show.
We'll be on the road.
We'll be on the road to TPC. So they're gonna Kinsey or somebody's gonna monitor the show, and we're hopefully either we're going to do it from the road or we're going to do it from the hotel. But we're just going to talk about the trip and how it's going and talk about the fun we're having and stuff. It's going to be a short show, but it's just going to be a on the road show.
There you go.
Going to have us all in the group. So
it'll be fun.
It'll be a fun show. So join us in 2 weeks as we're traveling, having a good time, and creating memories.
Exactly. And Sharon, when you go?
Until next week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
See ya.
See you.